What is up? This is your boy Anecdotal, and today it is time to beat the boss, man. So the boss, the server boss, finally came out for Metal Slug Infinity, and we gotta see what we can do. So a lot of people are doing super low damage, not sure what's going on. A lot of people are doing way more damage than they thought they would. That's because commander level does not matter. This right here is what matters. Have you been farming? Are all of your troops at 10 star? Are they all the way enhanced to plus 10? Mine sure aren't. And honestly, other than world boss and probably PvP, there's no reason to do it, man. You only need plus 6. The infinity circle is back, and it looks like we may not need to pay for it. It might be actually completely free. That's crazy. We'll find out later when I log in today and see if we get that last 100. If not, we spend 500 gems. Not really a bad thing. So let's go ahead and talk about the world boss. World boss here, like I said, only thing that matters, and it resets every Thursday. The only thing that matters is your units and your slugs. So it has 4 skills: the burst, the flamethrower, the full scale attack, and the carpet bomb. And then it tells you when exactly it's going to do it. Carpet bomb will kill you, so the heal is a must, or the invulnerability doesn't really heal. And everything else, you just got to make sure that you can survive it and be in your slug, because your slug is basically an extra life. And when your slug is off, you can just kind of like wheat and throw that at somebody else, and you'll be fine, man. You're good. You're fine. So the only thing we really got to worry about is that warning sign, and you just make sure you do everything. Now, you can always look at the top players, see what they got, all plus 10. Some people have plus 20. Man! And I hear air slugs help a lot because the flamethrower doesn't hit air slugs because it's in the air, right? So at first, I thought the best thing to do was to have that defensive passive, but it turns out having the attack speed passive is the best one. So you can go ahead and look how everyone else is doing and then look at how you're doing, or you could just look at the ranking. But honestly, if you're not as good as everyone else and your troops are better, then maybe you're doing something wrong. I know a couple of people said they died in the first 5 seconds. We gotta fix that, man. So step 26, just about as far as I'm gonna go. I'll probably finish 26 and 27. But we'll see what you can do. So here are the passes. We got the healing over time passive, which is nice, but won't help your DPS unless you go like full active skill DPS. We got the armor destruction, which I felt was the way to go at first, but it's not. It's all about going twice as fast with a quick reload speed. So my old strategy was to use the armor of destruction along with throwing my slug skill for the active skill to make sure that the defense would be at like 150 and you'll kill it. Turns out that doesn't work too well because the boss gets stronger the more you take out its bars, and I guess it doesn't scale. So that 150 defense down doesn't matter if he keeps climbing and getting more powerful. So for attack skills, the 2 things to look at is effects and the additional effect. The additional effect, of course, is making your allies stronger, and then of course upping your attack speed with that already 200 attack speed passive, which will really help out. And having Madoka on your team and even Rumi as well. Additionally, I'm not sure if having both is the best, but I know having at least one is good. And if you have Rumi's artifact to 8 star, your attack speed will go even further, which is what I'm working on now. Like everything I'm working on now, totally different. And then this defense, the defense posture, where you don't take damage for 7 seconds, that activates every 20 seconds, is like a godsend. It basically, you don't die in those 7 seconds, so that's the best thing to do. So use that and you won't be killed. And then as long as you are in your slug on times other than that, you do it. So this is my thing. My guild leader Amora said, use the auto skill, man. It's an idle game, see how far you go. Bro, I doubled my score. I doubled my score doing this. Look at this. The timing for some reason works out perfectly as long as you click auto. See the warning? It's already got the heal ready. The slugs are already ready. You can throw your slugs. Now, if you mess up your timing, oh, and there is one thing you need to focus on. Clicking the tap, clicking the eject here button so that you hit the boss. So let's see what kind of damage I'm doing, and let's see what kind of damage you're doing if you have similar artifacts. Well, if you have similar soldiers and similar slugs. For artifacts, My Marco is max and my Fio is max, and that's it. Everyone else doesn't really help. So there you go, man. 234. My max was 275 million, so I'm doing 234. I'm seeing some people barely hit a million and things like that. Guys, hit the auto button, man. My ranking right now is 173. I'm pretty sure I could hit top 100. I'm just not using all my tickets yet until the last day. Because I have so much improvements to make to my team. I got a 10-star everybody, man. We're just gonna take a while. The only people I do have 10-starred right now is Marco and Madoka. And when I first played, they were all at 9-star. But they're so easy to farm, I just never thought to do it. Like, I was like, what's the big deal? So now I want to see what happens if I switch out Rumi and put a Slug there. Now, I already have a mobile Slug for electricity, so there are 3 really good electricity people in the regular army. Oh yeah, make sure not to mix armies, man. They all buff each other, dude. they all have a regular skill and regular passive that increases them. So like that, you have extra attack speed, extra attack, crit damage, crit rate, some evasion, you know. Don't mix don't mix anyone. You're not gonna get the full buff. Your team needs to be a solo team. Make sure you do that. At first I was like, yo, let me just throw in all my strongest units and forego just using purely regular army, rebel army, or another force. But nah, man, you use the same people. All right, so the 3 people I'm thinking of is Zombie Marco, the Witch, and Leona. I don't know which one of the 3 I really want. I know that if the boss here has separate parts, that Zombie Marco would do like a lot of damage. But if he doesn't, that huge AoE that he has won't be so helpful. So maybe someone like Leona or Witch Rumi would help more. Not sure which. So you can see here that range really does help, but then the missiles might just get you. So Witch Rumi is kind of in danger in the back, but also safe from everything else. And then Leona gives everybody an evasion buff, which is nice. It's like, maybe it's a 20% at max or something like that. It's nice not to be hit 1 out of the 5 times, right? That can definitely save you. So between the 2, I don't know who to choose. You tell me, which Rumi or Leona? Leona cannot freeze, by the way. Like, the debuffs aren't going to happen. Oh, I only got 204. That's less. You know what? I probably should have got Airy out. You don't need a tank, by the way. You really don't need a tank for this unless you have, I would say, a Juggernaut Marco, because that way everyone else doesn't get hit, you know? Like, it could be a little bit more helpful with that. But honestly, you don't need a tank. It's better to have more DPS. So I should probably get rid of Rumi next time, but I don't have any. I don't know, man. I feel like the Slug is good enough. Also, everyone here has like 8-star Slugs, man. So I almost want to get my Camel up, but I don't at the same time. We'll see what happens. But right now, my main focus is to 10-star Fio. Man, look how all of this kind of just works out, man. You get to throw your slugs. Now I'm invulnerable. And now that I'm in my slug again, I could be hit again. And when I get hit, I could throw the slugs at the boss. Like, auto like really just does everything well. Now, sure, if you do it manually, you need to focus on pressing the skills and like touching and making sure the slugs hit them. which is kind of like a lot to think of. Maybe you can definitely get used to it, but if auto does a good enough job, I don't see why not. Oh, auto actually kind of messed me up here. It was just a couple of seconds off, which could happen if you do it manually as well. So my damage here was just not as good, right? 165. Wow, I'm always somewhere in the 200s, so this is crazy. So, or maybe it was because of Rumi being in the back, you know? Who knows? But this is definitely the best setup I've seen so far. You just kind of press everything at once, because the cooldown will come back by the time the huge attack comes in. I'll probably be in step 26 or 27 by the end. Like, I'll finish it. My guess is I'll finish step 27 based on how many people I have at 10-star and how many people I'll be able to enhance. But if you are a new player, work on your war books, man. Like, definitely get everyone a +6 because there's a buff there. But other than that, yo, get your war books up, level up. As much as the prizes are great, level up. You know, getting to +6 is enough. If no one in your team is at least on +3 or 4, like, you're a new player, don't worry, World Boss is super hard. I'm top 50, but my rank is in the upper hundreds, because a lot of people take PvP seriously, which I do not. and everyone's fully enhanced plus 10, and they just farm solely those particular units, and that's at plus 10 as well. Anyways, like I said, top 50, man. I'm currently 44, but sometimes I like waver. I go up to like 49, 50, and like kind of break it, and then when I get to level up, I end up going back down into the mid 40s. That's usually where I'm chilling at. This has been your boy Anecdotal. If you like this video, make sure to like it, share it with anybody from the MSI community, and of course, don't forget to make yourself known and comment down below. Peace.